Welcome to the Sacred Light Collective, where we explore our experience as a multidimensional spirit in physical form, balancing being in this world but not of it. My name is Ali, your multidimensional guide, so join me as we co-create our shared experiences, conversations with spirit, all things light language, activations and energy as we remember who we truly are. Welcome, my dear friends, to another episode where we're exploring inner wisdom, spiritual growth, and personal empowerment. You are with Ali, and I am so grateful to welcome you back, my dear friends, to share in another episode. Today, I'm really excited to dive into the energies of the upcoming full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 13-14 of 2025. I've really been feeling into this potent gateway for transformation, for release, and for a deeper awakening. And this eclipse in particular is really offering us a profound opportunity to transmute karmic patterns, to embrace our divine flow, and to step boldly into our purpose, our mission, our authenticity, our true self. So I'd love to explore some of the themes of this incredible celestial event and to journey together a little bit later in a guided meditation and transmission to integrate some of the wisdom that is available during this powerful eclipse time. So to understand a little bit about this eclipse energy, as I said, it is occurring on March 13-14, and it is bringing in this immense potential for clearing and transmutation. The energy of Virgo invites us to examine the areas of our life where we've held on to perfectionism, to judgment, or control. These are deeply ingrained patterns and are often carried from our past lives, parallel lives, our ancestral lineage. But we're now being invited to lift these, to release, to transmute and alchemize these. And eclipses really do serve as powerful portals, really illuminating the shadows within. This particular time is really highlighting for me the shadow aspects of our being, that we are being really invited to meet the deeper, darker shadow aspects of ourselves and meeting them with compassion rather than the resistance that, so many of us have. Because when you hear shadow work or you hear dark, you get called into the deeper, darker parts of you, the parts that maybe you don't want to see, you don't want to admit, you don't want to deal with, you don't want to feel. But my friends, this is where we're at now, particularly in this year of 2025 of completion energy to renewal, is by really bringing up the yuck, the muck, bringing up the shadow, and just bringing your awareness to these aspects. I have been sharing this a lot in my community, the Temple of Light, where we have been talking about the power of meeting ourselves more deeply and meeting ourselves through the depths of our shadows. And a lot of the community have been a little put off by shadow work or had been resistant to shadow work, because they didn't really know what it meant, but also I think we're given this connection to it must be a really heavy, serious, uncomfortable, challenging process. And yes, it is confronting. It can be challenging. But by just taking this first step, by just bringing your awareness to these aspects, you can actually allow them to be transmuted just by bringing your attention, your awareness, your light to them. And as you do this, you just reveal a little more of your innate power and wisdom each time. So as I've been sharing in the community, I'm really just inviting through this season and really moving forward now. I feel like this is part of our base foundational work. This is what the Divine Mother and the Divine Feminine and Primordial Feminine, the dark shadow feminine, have been bringing forward, is by seeing that our power and wisdom really lies in our ability to meet ourselves in our shadows. So if you take nothing else away from this episode this week, I just invite you to connect for 10, 20 minutes a day. Even if you just choose to do this for a week, just choose to do this as an experiment and allow yourself to drop into your heart space, but allow yourself to sink a little deeper, to go underneath where you would normally find yourself. See if you can allow yourself to come a little further, deeper within and sit there. Just breathe. You know, sometimes that might just feel like you're sitting in a dark cave. And I don't want you to feel like you have to do anything other than just be there, to allow yourself to even get comfortable in that first step, in the darkness, in the shadow. And if things want to be revealed to you, allow them to come forward, but trust that you're also being divinely supported and protected in this. So it's not like the rug is going to be ripped out from under you. But if you take a step in, a step will be revealed to you. And it just allows this awareness really to be gently transmuted. And so another aspect under this eclipse, we are being called to refine our energetic field, to release self-imposed limitations that really do keep us from fully stepping into our soul's path. So this is an initiation into deeper self-awareness, where we do acknowledge that our shadows are not burdens, but they're actually our sacred teachers. That's where the medicine is, and they are leading us to our highest expression. So that is why just taking that first step of coming into a deeper awareness of the shadow space within you, a deeper, could be a layer underneath, as I said, through the heart, or it could be sort of out to the side. You know, sometimes when I've connected to my own portal of my heart, it's been like a cave with sort of many little spaces that are kind of pulled off to the side, where it is like shining some light on these little nooks and crannies and these corners. So it could be going out, or it could be going down and underneath. But I can't emphasize just how much the feminine frequencies have been bringing this remembrance in. It doesn't matter what gender you are in this lifetime, but this is about accessing your deepest, truest power through your shadow. So we've been led to believe that this is like somewhere we can't go under. It's like the murky depths of the ocean, isn't it? It's like a glass ceiling where it's like you can't pass through it. And some of that is the self-imposed limitations, because we've allowed others to influence us to fear that which is really just who we are. Really, what you are facing here is yourself without fear. And then if you can allow yourself to drop into this, if you can feel the fear, feel any emotion, feel any of the resistance that's coming forward, and just hold it, just notice it, and allow yourself to just bit by bit become comfortable in that uncomfortable, you would find that this is going to lead you back to your true divine innate power and wisdom, to the fullness of your expression. Now, additionally, this eclipse is also activating deep ancestral healing. And what I have been tapping into is particularly around themes of servitude versus soul-led service. So many of us are feeling the call to break free from old karmic cycles of overgiving, of self-sacrifice, and the need to prove our worth through external validation. So this is a time to reclaim our sovereignty, to really step into the divine flow, our divine flow, without force or control. And in that process of realigning with our true essence, we find this. And when we talk a lot about that connection to divine feminine, and yes, there are some elements here that relate more deeply to those who are in a feminine form or identify as feminine in this lifetime. But we all have this frequency, we all have this inner energy of the divine feminine, which allows us to move in the flow. It allows us to experience our true self. It allows us to access the power and wisdom of who we are. It does represent our highest expression. Now, you may be relating to this with slightly different themes, and so don't try and fit yourself into one of these categories. I do, as always, ask you to trust your own discernment, to just tune into the energy, the frequency of this episode, and allow the themes that are coming forward for you to reveal themselves. I'm just sharing some of the key ones that I have been seeing coming through our Temple of Light community and many client sessions at the moment. And ultimately, as we know, what we are remembering, what we are reclaiming and restoring is our sovereignty, is our remembrance of who we truly are. And so all of these events, whether they be eclipses, full moons, experiences that you have in day-to-day life, are all offering us this opportunity to allow ourselves to surrender, to let go, to move with the flow, to allow it to move through us, to experience it and not hold on to what it is or not allow it to influence us any longer. To allow ourselves to really embrace that we have received the lessons and the wisdom, and we can now step into our power with that knowledge. So as we move through this lunar eclipse, we are encouraged to surrender, that there is no need for force or action, just presence. So simply by sitting with what is arising or arises for you and embrace somewhat that discomfort of the unknown, of the uncomfortable. Because it's in this where we're creating space for the deep alchemy and transformation, the purification, and this invitation and awareness to step out of the old cycles and really align with our highest, most authentic self. So I've even been sharing guidance with some people that their higher self is brought through. Do not fear these types of events. You know, sometimes we see people, hear people talking about these sort of astrological events in a negative way, in like, be prepared, you know, to be knocked sideways, or for the retrograde to stop you in your tracks, or whatever it might be. And I know that I have fed into this myself over my spiritual journey too. But our collective higher selves are asking us to release any fear that we have to these events, to these experiences, to what is coming up in your life right now, what patterns you're seeing, or what's being revealed through your shadow. And just simply meet it with some compassion for yourself. Meet it and just hold it. Can you just sit with it? Can you sit with it and breathe and let it be? Can you allow yourself to maybe acknowledge the emotion that that's bringing forward? Acknowledge the fear, or the parts of you that feel the fear. Because that is really all that you need to do in this moment, is to see, to witness, and acknowledge yourself and be in presence with yourself. And why this is such an extra powerful time, because there is an eclipse portal gateway here. This lunar eclipse on March 13, 14, 2025 marks the first threshold in this powerful gateway leading up to the solar eclipse on March 29 in 2025. So the period between these eclipses is an energetic corridor. and can be a time of profound internal shifts or heightened awareness and deep transformation. Now, you might see that lunar to solar, we're going from shadow to light. So being aware that this lunar eclipse can bring closures, endings, and it's going to surface some of that hidden truth, the parts that maybe need to be revealed to you that are ready to be released, discarded, let go, transmuted, creating this opportunity to clear the old, particularly outdated emotional patterns, karmic imprints, and energetic blockages. Anything that is not aligned with your highest, most authentic self. And then in contrast, we will move into that solar eclipse at the end of the month, which is ushering in the new beginnings, the new consciousness, the renewal, the rebirth, however you want to phrase it. It's an influx of light codes that are then going to assist you in anchoring to this higher timeline, this highest, most authentic version of you in this lifetime, in this timeline, in this incarnation. And this particular eclipse cycle is amplifying the balance between that divine feminine and divine masculine within us. So the Virgo lunar influence is helping us to purify, to ground, and bring sacred order to our spiritual insights, while the solar eclipse later in the month is igniting bold action, courage, leadership, embodiment of our soul's mission. So, my friends, we are in a time of deep recalibration. And the energy in this portal, eclipse portal, is urging us to move from fear to trust, from hesitation to courage, and from self-doubt to full alignment with our highest truth. We are being asked to dissolve old constraints, to liberate our voice, and to move into greater embodiment of our divine purpose. That is primarily to be our highest, most authentic self. So this is a time to slow down. It's not a time for rushing forward, but a time of inner reflection, of being in a mode of receptivity, receiving what you need to know, what is needing to be revealed to you, and preparing, calibrating for what is to come. As the shadow moves over the moon and later clears, we are reminded that our own inner light remains steady. And the more that we can surrender into this process, the more we can allow our highest destiny to unfold. And so when we reach that second threshold in the eclipse cycle for the new moon solar eclipse on March 29, this will mark the beginning of a new path, a rebirth into our truth, our passion, and our divine purpose. So we are being called to move and will be called to move beyond the fear and to no longer dim our light or shrink ourselves for the comfort of others. This part of the eclipse cycle will urge us to embrace courage and sovereignty, to reclaim our leadership and creative power. So by acknowledging the depths within us, we will unlock our highest timeline and step into the fullness of our being. And our collective higher selves and guides want me to stress this, that you have the power to unlock, to open, to step into your highest timeline and into the fullness of your being, your power, your wisdom, your divinity, by going within, by meeting yourself in the shadows and moving through walking the path that you most fear. But I will say it again, we are being called to move beyond the fear, to no longer dim our light or shrink ourselves for the comfort of others. This cycle gateway urges us to embrace courage and sovereignty, to reclaim our leadership and creative power, so you are being asked to embrace the fear and allow yourself to move with what is being revealed through this Eclipse Gateway period. And to support you, we wish to bring you a little guided journey to assist you to feel into this, to receive this at a cellular and a physical level. So prepare yourself now by finding a quiet, comfortable space, just allowing yourself to get comfortable, gently lowering your eyes and taking a deep breath in, just allowing yourself to arrive fully into your heart and into your body with the assistance of your breath. Begin by envisioning yourself in a vast cosmic temple, bathed in the soft luminance of the full moon. The energy around you is potent, swirling with the golden and silver frequencies of divine transformation. Feel the presence of the lunar eclipse above you, radiating its celestial wisdom. As the light shifts and the shadow moves across the moon, you sense a deep calling within to meet the hidden aspects of yourself with love. Breathing deeply, place your hands on your heart, and with each inhale, welcoming in the energy of divine remembrance. With each exhale, releasing any burdens of perfectionism, expectations, of judgment, of any fear. Allow what is rising within you, being revealed to you, to come forward, gently rising with every inhale and releasing on the exhale. Hamoyana diro rama sento tirea noraka. Lero matira tutora neto shemuya tierra rona. Roma e santitura canera cura mutiena. Ramo sandera tierra cura che shamuya neta tirana. Activating your inner wisdom to transmute what is ready to be released, what is ready to be shed, what is ready to be completed. Mayana eroe sametu tierra no toro yama. Leo Toriama Sutiena Tierra Kui Imuyanera to Semuyane Tierra Kua. Feel these vibrations resonating through your being, dissolving old programming, dissolving old fears, dissolving old beliefs, dissolving old emotions, and activating your divine light to alchemize this into your divine power and divine wisdom, to feel into this energy and frequency of your divine power and wisdom. Feel this in your body and in your field. For some of you, this is seeing your full power for the first time. For some, this is meeting it for the first time. And for some, this is feeling the fullness of your power and wisdom for the first time. Allow yourself to meet this wherever you are and sit with this energy for a few breaths. Inviting in compassion as you allow what feels uncomfortable to be present in the light of your awareness. Roma siena tierra kurayama shina tierra kusieno ta tierra ma lo ta tierra umai se tu tierra irea torama le o oyama esotiena tierra ko hoyana deroyama. We set the intention that this continues to integrate for as long as is needed, that all lessons are learned, all wisdom is received, that you are now stepping into more of the fullness of your being, your highest, most wisest, empowered self. You may come back to this as often as you need, as you will receive something different every time you connect deep within. Orema sento tiriana, roma sentitira koyama, setuturoyama. Kula la la la, kula la la, kula la la. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. We declare that this has been transmuted completely, healed to completion, received across all lifetimes, dimensions, spaces, realities, past, present, and future. We declare it to be so, and so it is. Just allowing your awareness to travel back to this present moment, to gently wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes, feeling into your heart, your body, your field, this present moment, feeling lighter, clearer, more centered and deeply aligned. Thank you, my friends, for sharing in that little guided journey. I hope that that has been supportive for you at this time. You know, this full moon lunar eclipse really is a profound teacher, guiding us through the darkness and into illumination. And by embracing the shadow, we reclaim our strength. And by surrendering to the unknown, we awaken to our highest potential. So may this eclipse season empower you to release, expand, and embody your divine truth. Thank you so much for sharing this sacred journey with me in this episode. And if this has resonated, I invite you to share your reflections. And I invite you to share this with others who may benefit. May your path be illuminated by the light within. And until next time, trust your heart, trust your path, and trust the infinite wisdom that is within you. And as always, my dear soul family and friends, the light, the love, and the divinity within me honors the light, the love, and the divinity within you. Until next time, much love.